What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a really cool video for you. This is a bathroom vanity that I built entirely out of walnut. It's got shelves on one side, it's got drawers on the other side, and it has these nice doors in the middle, which of course are soft close. So without further ado, let me show you how I built it. All right, so here is the design for the vanity. It's going to be 39 inches long total. On the right side, we're gonna have 4 drawers. These are not going to have slides. They're just gonna be wood runners since it's not very deep. The drawers are only going to be about 8 inches deep. Over here, we have some floating shelves. I think there's going to be 3 of them total. And then the whole thing is gonna sit on some legs, and we're gonna have 2 doors here on the front with 1 shelf in the middle. It's gonna be kind of a cool design, and I'm really excited to get started on this. I started this project at the same place I start a lot of my other projects, and that is over at the planer. I absolutely love this Grizzly 20-inch planer. It makes really quick work of smoothing out this rough sawn walnut. The planer is actually too big and heavy to go in my shop, so for right now, the planer just sits in the garage along with the dust collector. So first off, I'm gluing together some strips of wood for the legs. These are about 2.5 inches wide. The final dimension for the legs is going to be 2 inches square, so I leave them a little bit oversized, and that allows for trimming down later. It's always a little bit tricky clamping something like this because it wants to slide all over the place, but you do the best that you can and eventually you get it into alignment. So now I'm back at the table saw. I'm cutting some rails and stiles for the sides and the front of the vanity. These are all 2 inches wide as well. And here I am using the pocket hole jig to drill pocket holes on the inside of all the rails and stiles. This pocket hole jig is about 9 years old. I had it forever. I bought it when I was about 10 and it still works really well. So if you take care of your stuff, it'll last you a long time. So here I am clamping together some of the frame sections. If you don't clamp together stuff like this, the pocket holes want to slide all over the place. So it's almost a necessity to clamp anything that you're going to be pocket screwing. And it just makes everything easy because you can get it into alignment before you screw it. All right, so the first frame is built. We're just gonna assemble a second one that's gonna be identical to this. And now we've got 2. So once I've got a couple frame sections, I clamp those together with the same clamp so I can put the rails in. All right, so you can see in our design, on the left side, we've got these shelves, and on the right side, we've got 4 drawers. And these extend out 10 inches. So basically, the drawer box cavity area is a total of 10 inches deep, and so are the shelves. So what we need to do on our vanity is run a vertical stile centered at 10 inches from the back. That's going to give us a good transition for both our shelves and our drawers. Love the sound of an impact gun. So here we are putting these shelves onto the side of the vanity. This was pretty simple putting together, just a couple pieces of wood screwed together. And since you won't see the back of this vanity, I was able to just put some screws in from the back. I am gluing this onto the side just to give a little bit of extra support to those shelves. So I just got this panel screwed in. It looks really good. Now we can focus our attention to the other side where we're going to be putting all of the drawers. If you haven't already tried this tape trick for gluing together mitered boxes and frames, it works really well, and it's pretty much what I use exclusively for doing stuff like this, and you'll see what I mean in a second. I haven't really found a better way to do it other than this. I've got some clamps that are made to do stuff like this, but I always go back to using the painter's tape. It just makes it so easy, and it's very satisfying folding the box all together at the end. All right, so I just got the drawer box glued together. You can see I used the old tape method. I got some water and some paper towels and cleaned up all of the excess glue because it's a pain to sand off after the fact. So I'm going to let this dry, and then when it is dry, we're going to go ahead and mount it on the right side of our vanity. And this box over here is exactly the same size as our shelves, so it will look nice and symmetrical. So I'm doing the old tape trick again to glue together the drawer boxes. This works, like I said, for any kind of mitered assembly, and it made gluing the drawers together really easy. All right, so I got a little bit carried away and didn't film myself doing these doors. These are two pieces of walnut that I got, and basically what I did is I split them with an axe down the middle, and I kind of just busted them up and roughed it all up. And what they want is just an epoxy detail down the middle of the doors. They don't want it to look like two vertical lines, so I've kind of got some offshoots, so to speak. So I'm going to fill these with the epoxy. The color that they picked out is this blue slate from Black Diamond Pigments. It should look pretty good with that walnut. I'm going to go ahead and get these poured so I can flatten them tomorrow and hopefully get them installed on our vanity. For these pours, I'm using Super Clear's 1-to-1 tabletop epoxy, and it works really well.
Is it supposed to rain?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Luckily, it did not actually end up raining. So for my forms, I used tape and hot glue, and that held the epoxy in really nicely. So I turned my attention back to the actual vanity itself, and this is going to be a shelf that's located about halfway up inside of the doors. This is going to have a crazy cutout in the back for the trap of the sink, but I'm going ahead and getting that panel glued up now so I can work on it later. By now the doors are dry, so I decided to run those things through the planer and get them nice and flat. Usually I use the Grizzly 20-inch planer for this, but I just had 2 doors to do, and I didn't really feel like setting up the big one. All right, so I've been working on the vanity. I got everything sanded to 320 grit. Let me get this door open here. Sanded to 320 grit. I got my doors on. These things are really nice. You can see they've got the old soft close feature, but we're pretty much ready for a coat of finish. I'm going to run down to the store and grab some, and then we're going to come back and put a coat of finish on this thing. We're getting close to the end. I'm really happy with how this is coming out. I still need to put some little stops behind the drawers to keep them from going too far in, but this is going to look really good. For the finish, I'm using a Watco wipe-on polyurethane. I like wipe-on polyurethanes a lot better than regular polyurethanes. They're a lot thinner. For my first 3 coats, I generally just apply it right out of the bottle, and then the last 3 coats, I do thin it down with mineral spirits. It was quite satisfying putting finish on the walnut. It really made it pop, especially with that blue epoxy. It looked really, really good. I usually apply the first coat with a brush, and then all of the coats after that are with a rag. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. This vanity came out fantastic. I think this is about the 12th or 13th vanity that I have ever built. It came out really nice. I'm very happy with the finish. All in all, I put about 6 coats of wipe-on polyurethane on it. The customer wanted no shine at all, so we used a satin polyurethane, and I'm just really happy with how everything came out, and I know the client is going to love it too. If you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that bell next to the subscribe button. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. And as always, I enjoy reading everybody's comments, so make sure you leave a comment down below because I do read every single one. I'll see you guys next week.